Okay, so this is my little tutorial level that I created in Unreal. Just messing around trying to learn how the Unreal Engine works. This building, all the walls and stuff was included in a starter content pack thing that I downloaded from the marketplace, or thing that came with the Unreal Engine installation. Um, but here we have the walls with the window. Don't know if you can tell, but like right here in front of me, there's like a dividing point in between the sections. Got windows with glass panels. Um, Nothing really special about this building. There's just a little thing for me to practice on until I found some real stuff. In here, just have some lighting and a tile floor with automatic reflections turned on. If you can see, when I turn around and face the door, the lighting drastically changes, kind of like if you've been outside all day in the sun and come indoors. Um, Simulates like your eyes adjusting to the light. When I turn around, the light um, adjusts as well. So going back outside, I kind of abandoned this little building because I found some better assets on the marketplace that were free um, to use. So, but I just never took this out. Continuing on over here, I have this big, giant rock formation, aka mountain region, for a particular region for one of the assets that I have. Um, haven't really done anything except for just place the rocks there and then scaled them up to size to make it look like a giant mountain. Um, Here I started on a pathway, added some grass and plants, flowers, and other rock formations. Um, got some tree stumps, got some forest trees over here. All these trees are actually like grouped together as a cluster, and I just duplicated the cluster a couple times instead of having to place like individual trees at once. Although that is an option, I do have those. I just felt that it was easier just to use this cluster of trees instead of placing them individually. Um, so I have my path here leading to that building off in the distance. I started on a semi-hidden path going off in this direction to it's eventually going to lead to another area for another type of region. Just haven't gotten to it yet. Um, this path is eventually going to lead to like a frozen or ice region where up above the mountain was a fire region or area where there's like blacksmiths and lava and stuff. Um, Here we got some flowers, some leaves, some dead trees, tree stumps, um, some roots, another tree cluster over here. Um, I added this little pond, though I apparently need to fix that so you can see the corner of the water plane here. Um, I made like a little pond here. Just took a bunch of the rock formations that were provided in one of the asset packs and just placed them around to make it look like it was surrounding the pond. Scaled them to size to whatever I felt like. Um, as far as the water, it's just a little plane that's slightly above ground level that has a water like textured material attached to it, and the material actually has the animation built into it to give it like that water feel to it. As you see from the corner here, yeah, it's just a little plane just slightly above the ground. Looks like I need to adjust the rocks again. Jump on the rocks. As you can see, apparently the collision boxes on this rock formation are not too precise, as my feet are like sunken into the rock itself. Um, as far as like all these assets, most of them I did not create myself. Like I said, I found them on the marketplace. Um, some of them have animations to them, and most of these objects here, actually all these objects here, they're all considered as static meshes. I'll just drag them from my content browser, as you can see in the bottom left corner of my screen, probably where the content browser is. That's where like all my assets are at. Just literally just drag and drop them into the scene from there and place them however I want. Here we got some type of a fern, just its own built-in animation. I do have character models, and some of them do have animations and stuff, but I haven't figured out how to attach the animations to the models. So I haven't placed any other characters into the scene yet. Coming up to this building, I have a pathway. I have like these two statues here that have where there are two guys holding torches, and there's a nice torch fire particle system effect that came with the assets for one of came with my assets. That was a very nice find because I didn't even know I had until actually searching in the content browser for fire or torches, and it actually popped up. And when I actually dragged it into the scene, I saw what it was, and I was like, "Oh, this is amazing!" So I put a torch there and fire into each torch. Also, there was a nice um, fountain particle system as well. So I place a fountain here with water. The fountain water particle system comes from the top of it, and then there's like a cylinder mesh that I flattened out, placed at the bottom of to show the water level of the fountain itself, and attach the fountain water material to it to give it the animation that the water's being trickled into the into the fountain. This is building that was made completely out of assets from that I found online, except for the bottom of these like column things here, where you can see like the textures slightly different and a different shade. These down here are actually custom shapes that I actually made in the editor. I started them off as cubes, cubes, and then I scaled them to size to mainly to about the size of like the base of the pillars here, a column, and then I use the what is it what is it was it the shape editor or whatever it's called, and modified the shapes to make it to make custom shapes to make it match the shape of these pillars, because if I didn't do that, then these columns would have just been floating off the ground, not even touching anything. Back over here, going into the building. Here we go into the building. I have a spiral staircase going up. Pretty much the beginning part of the stairs right here. That's all. This section right here was a asset that was included in one of the packs that I downloaded. This here where the ground's like freaking out and being distorted and stuff, that's actually overlapping floor static meshes. This is what's called Z fighting. The two overlapping textures are trying to fight for which one's trying to be rendered. Yeah, I'm not too worried about it. Then there's this spiral staircase. This is actually a custom shape. Well, no, it's not a custom shape. This was actually a shape that can be dragged off from the left side of the screen. You can see like part of my editor in the background of the video window. You see on the left side there's the section that says um, BSP. Within that section there's a thing to make spiral staircases, and then you just place the spiral staircase, adjust the size. You can also, properties window shows, assign how many steps you want. Initially there's no texture applied to it, it's just a default like a gray checkerboard texture, kind of like the ceiling up here. So I had to manually texture like each face of the steps. That was a major pain because I had to sit there and just click each individual face until I selected all of them to apply the texture, and that was pain because I tried to select one and then I'd go through and just go through the sequence of holding control and left clicking to select them, multiple faces, and I get to like the last one and I misclick and it took it as me trying to move the object and it deselect everything. So I spent maybe a good hour trying to get the spiral staircase textured. So you notice over here and on this side I have like these torches. Also utilize the torch fire part of the system. I have some pebbles on the ground. I have a chest over here. There's actually other things that came with the texture pack to make it so you could interact with the chest, like open it up and it'll animate and show like gold in it and stuff, and you can like collect it. But I haven't gotten that far into figuring out how that works. Got some barrels over here, a crate, which is beyond the borders of the wall's collision box. Got some more pebbles here, more torch, got some pots, a broken pot. Got a skull over here on the corner of the step, the first step here. Going up to the second level, I haven't really done anything. I was going to plan to build a second floor up here, just haven't gotten around to it. I just basically made a custom shape right here to link the last step of the spiral staircase to the beginning of the second floor platform. So far I can only walk on the gray area for the most part, except for like these little indented corners here, because the collision box for these walls, they're like probably, if I remember correctly looking, they're pretty much about the height of the player's knee. So yeah, I can like jump, and these, as you can see, I'm like floating on the ground or just walking on air, because that's how high the collision boxes are on these walls. Except for right here. Right here, there's nothing. Let's see. Eventually, I was going to put a path that would go up this rock formation and go across the top, and eventually go across this one, and literally, eventually there was going to be a path that would eventually go across this formation, across the top of this, and all the way on the other side over here, which eventually would lead to like a rickety old wooden bridge that you could cross, and eventually would link to the mountain over here to get to the fire region. But like I said, I haven't gotten to that point yet. Still in a work in progress. Although this is only a project that I'm working on for a class, I only got one day left. It's just to show how much I've learned using Unreal. I'll probably still work on it just to mess around and use it as like a test scene to try new things if I use Unreal for final project, which yay is starts, I believe, August, which means graduating end of November, right before Thanksgiving. Yeah. that's about it. If I add any more, I'll try to make another video.